All right, everyone. So I got a banger for you today. So, look, I'm from Ireland, socialist Ireland, and I've been living in America for the past 12 years. So I have a different view of everything that's going on in the Ukraine war because it's when you come back to Ireland or Europe, you are getting a one-sided opinion when it comes to everything to do with the war. My parents specifically, after this whole thing yesterday with Donald Trump, and they're screaming and shouting at each other, they're just like, he's such a horrible man, and yada, yada, yada. And me trying to actually convey to them like what is going on was very difficult because all of the information that they have been receiving is basically just chopped up bullshit to it's propaganda basically to make them believe a certain way. And so I'm going to share with you the analogies that I gave, and now they can somewhat see it from my point of view, whereas before they could only look at Donald Trump and say that like this guy's an animal. So bear with me for the next like 5 minutes, and I'm gonna clean it all up for you. And if you can make your socialist, blue, democratic parents listen to you, well, maybe we all have a little bit of hope of peace. So to give the analogy here, it's like when Biden was in power, he basically said, "Hey, you know what? Let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing Kamala. Let's keep pushing NATO here, and let's openly tell Russia that, not Russia, but let's openly say that like Ukraine is gonna join fucking NATO." And so Ukraine, unfortunately, decided, "Oh, fucking great! They're backing us. Let's go." Now the truth of the matter is that like America or Biden administration, they didn't give a fuck about that. They just wanted to get more money made for the elites, and they want to push this agenda. So to just make this very clear, America's a lion, and Russia's a lion, and Ukraine is a sheep. And so when you look at this, what basically happened is that you've got everybody telling the sheep that they're a lion, and they're saying you could go get him, go get him. And the truth of the matter is that Putin, being the lion that he is, was basically like, "Yo, if you keep barking at me, if you guys in NATO, you keep pushing at me, I'm gonna push back." And after numerous times of saying like I'm gonna push back, if I don't do something, I'm gonna be looked at that I'm a fucking sheep too, and I'm not. I'm a fucking lion. And so what ends up happening is that Ukraine foolishly thinks that they can take on Russia, and the truth of the matter is that Russia can wipe them out in a heartbeat. And it's actually the restraint from Putin to not just completely decimate tens of millions of people. There's already 1 million Ukrainians dead here. And Donald Trump comes into office and is the only person that is actually finding solutions to the war. Now, I'm not trying to say this is fucking nice, this is pretty in any way, shape, or form. I mean, war is horrible. And so what happens here? Donald Trump comes in and goes, "You know what? I recognize I'm a fucking lion. America's a lion. They're a lion. Russia's a lion. And fucking this sheep here, Ukraine's going to get fucking mauled. And if we don't get involved and we don't try and figure out a solution, they're going to be fucking decimated." And so what happens? Well, the lion respects the other lion. And the lion recognizes that if we don't show respect to the other lion, because this sheep is constantly fucking thinking it's a lion and it's not, it's a fucking sheep. And so what happens is that when they're trying to make a deal, which by the way, Biden, Europe, all these fucking countries trying to say that like, "Oh, we're virtue signaling here. We're going to give you a little bit of money. Don't worry, yeah, you can take them on. You can get that line over there." And Trump comes in and is like, is this some sort of fucking joke? Like, he's going to eat them alive. They're going to die. And everybody's going, oh, the blue is like, "Oh, what do you mean? Oh, no, that's bullshit. We're going to keep giving the money." And Donald Trump is the only one that comes in and goes, "No, we're going to make a fucking deal here." And guess what? The only way that I'm going to make a deal here is by showing respect to the other lion. So what does that mean? If you back down over here, you still look strong, I promise you, that sheep over there is not is not going to join NATO. They're not going to join this other superpower right on your borders and fucking put pressure on you. Not only that, but you know what? I want to be paid for my work. So you know what that means? I want 50% of the minerals. And if you don't recognize the help that I'm giving you, then you can go fucking for a walk in the park. So Zelensky comes over, and I don't know whoever's watching this where you're looking at this, but like in Ireland, they showed a snippet, and I can only imagine in any democratic society, they showed a snippet of that meeting. And you know what that snippet did? It reaffirmed the agenda of what all the fucking elites were wanting. Trump's an absolute animal. He only wants to take advantage of people. He's only in it for himself. And then when you actually look at the whole 50-minute thing, you actually begin to recognize that, like, Zelensky was actually the one to start on J.D. Vance. And later on, when J.D. Vance is like, you should say thank you, and my parents are like, oh my God, it's so disgusting. How could they treat him like that? He's in so much pain, and they're a victim over there, and they need to be supported. And the truth of the matter is that Zelensky is a warmonger. Zelensky is basically bullshitting his people into thinking that they can win. And Trump is the only one who's actually doing his best to stop the war. And so if you could actually take a second and realize what's going on and look at both sides and look at the information that you're receiving, you will see that Donald Trump is actually somebody who's trying to stop it. It's actually the same thing with a lot of the media. I don't know if any of you have seen it. You can look it up after this. But there was one of Donald Trump's, I don't know, it was his inauguration or whatever it is, one of Donald Trump's rally after he became president. Elon brings his son, and he's going down the stairs. And in the video, the first video that I saw, it was like, look at Elon Musk, he's a fucking animal. He doesn't care about his children. Look, he walks down the stairs and walks down into the, into the back of the arena, and he forgets his son. And then another video came out, and you actually hear this woman, she goes, hey, you forgot about your son. And then it cuts. And then, then there's another video that comes out and shows the whole thing. And the whole thing actually shows that you can see Elon Musk, and he's cheering on his son. He's about to come downstairs. Hey, come on over here, X, or whatever his name is. And he's going down the stairs, and then he goes into the thing. He goes into the arena, and then he recognizes his son isn't there, and he turns around and is like, hey, come on this way. And his son's doing this like cheering thing, and he's going, yeah, let's cheer and go on. And so just recognize for a second that majority of the information that you were receiving has been filtered to push an agenda. And if you actually want to get correct information that hasn't been adulterated, it's not going to be from the legacy media. It's most likely going to be a place that has free speech. And guess where that is? X. Right? Because in all the others, it's like, well, you can say whatever you want as long as it just is in line with what we want you to say. And so for each and every one of you, if you were someone like me who, originated in a socialist country, Ireland, and you moved to another country, you can actually see the world for what it is. And it's fucking corrupt. And there's a very small amount of people that are actually trying to make the change. And so if each and every one of us can be open to have conversation, like I ended up showing my mom a video about the corruption in how this war has actually started, which is due to the Biden administration knowingly provoking Russia to make a move. And to be honest, my dad, because he's adopted this, like it's like when I showed him a video and I was actually talking with him, he basically just didn't say a word, just said, hey, I'm going off to bed. And it's very clear to me. And you know what now? The Luke now versus the Luke before, I would have chased him down. It's like, no, you got to hear me. You got to see this. And I'm not actually trying to change anyone's opinion. I just want to listen to theirs and have them listen to me. And if you don't have open communication and you cannot actually sit down and talk, there's never the opportunity for growth. And so if you're one of these people who are just watching one news media channel and you refuse to look at the other options, just recognize that the information that you could be getting is actually full of shit.